All right. This is a pretty crazy story overall. Thanks to our good friend Pavel, who sent this over to me and said, look what Jesse Michels is doing, man. Jesse Michels had the former president of the Republic of Kalmykia and longtime president of the World Class Federation on his show talking about what he said. At first, Jesse Michels said being abducted by aliens in 1997. This is a former sitting president saying this thing, rather. This is not just some random person. But I want to play the intro to this video first, just so you see what you're going to get yourself into. Check this out.
You are, to my knowledge, the only leader of a prominent nation who was abducted by aliens and taken up on a spacecraft while you were a sitting president in 1997.
You are constantly using the term abducted. I was invited by them.
The episode you're about to watch is truly historic.
Okay, so that's just the intro in general to show you. This is not like, some random person. This is a former president. So the idea that this happened and the idea that he makes it and he emphasizes and he says, no, I wasn't abducted. I was invited. This is I hate being a broken record. I'm so sorry. But isn't it something, again, to be said to say this, that if this person, who is clearly in the past, when he was a sitting president, covered by the media about other topics in the world, if any political leader is saying these things, whether you think he is out of his mind or not, shouldn't this be on every news organization out there talking about this? Does he have a history of mental illness? Is there something else? Does he have a history of fabricating the truth and other things? That way they're not covering it. I don't know. I don't believe that to be the case, but check this particular clip out here.
Maybe they are playing chess, having a conversation.
And what did the spaceship look like? I know you said it was big, maybe multiple soccer fields. What was the kind of architecture like? And was it metal? Did it look like it was from material not made of this earth?
I only saw it from the inside because I was immediately there. It was a large space, like several football fields large. Then we walked for a while. There were screens, or like glass sheets. But the most interesting thing I noticed, when I later analyzed the whole situation, was that they weren't paying attention to me at all. One of them was just telling me something, and that was it. I just appeared there and it didn't matter. They were tall, dressed in these yellow outfits. That's it. And they didn't really pay attention to me. One of them led me to a large porthole, like a porthole window. And the reason I realized it was a ship was because it wasn't just hovering over Moscow. It seemed to move freely, shifting through different times, different spaces, and different dimensions.
I mean, come on. It's like, I always go back in after we post a video like this to see what you guys are saying about this, because, again, this is a former sitting president. Now, the question, you can start to come up with a bunch of things. All right. Is he doing this interview to throw things off, to throw off maybe Russia or somebody else, or maybe somebody's got this capability to do these things and they don't want the U.S. snooping around? So we say, hey, because this was a report that came out. Remember, they said, we'd say that aliens are coming. So maybe they're trying to do the same thing. Doubtful. Why this guy would come out here and talk to Jesse Michels, and why... And you guys know Jesse Michels is a friend of the show. He's been on the show before. Big fan of Jesse Michels. Why is this the interview that he's doing to do this? It's like nobody else wants to talk to him about this. How does every news organization not want to talk to him about this? And if this does indeed, currently it's got 365,000 views. It should have millions of views. That a former sitting president is talking about being abducted and going into great detail, mind you, about this experience. It wasn't just like, What's fascinating to me, and this is one of the reasons that I'm going to even dive even deeper down into this interview, because I get fascinated with the time and space aspect of it. When he starts talking about things, he appeared there, he could see things, and it doesn't move in linear fashion, and that's potentially why the ships do what they do, and parallel universes and everything. That to me is I'm fascinated with this stuff, like fascinated with other dimensions, time, space, multiverses, all of that. Always have been, always been like a driving force to what I really wish that I could study. I just this stupid brain doesn't do the things that I wish that it could do when it comes to really studying it. Thank you, ADD. But I would love to actually be able to break down what a lot of this stuff really means in how it could work in time and space, how this type of machinery could work, and how let's say again, this story is 100% true, and that they weren't really paying attention to him. It could mean that there are many, many people that have gone through this, and he was very fast to clear and say, not abducted, invited, very different thing. And how many other people are invited? Are there other people invited? This is a fascinating story that I highly recommend people dive into and watch. And like any story that I cover on this channel, I'm not telling you to believe it. I'm just telling you to listen to it. And I'm also telling you to ask that question that I asked you in the beginning. If someone at this power is talking about this stuff, why aren't other people talking about it besides just Jesse Michels? Why are there not more clips than just my friend Pavel who said, check this out? These clips should be everywhere. This interview should be everywhere. Again, reemphasizing that if it is one of these things where you're like, what happened to this guy? Here's a breakdown of the things that he's gone through. This is why you shouldn't take him serious about what he is saying. This is a former president saying these things. We've got people who say things left and right about other people, shitty things that people shouldn't say, bad tweets, things that are covered all the damn time from politicians, celebrities, everything. Shouldn't this be covered? Shouldn't this be like, hey, this guy is saying he's abducted by aliens? I'll tell you right now that if George Bush started doing interviews about, I was invited to aliens, I'd be like, well, what cycle of cocaine were you on when that happened? Was that during the 80s? It's the first thing that would be brought up. I don't see that with this. And not to say again, like this is mind blowing to me. Mind blowing. What do you guys make of it? Give me the reasons, and please, 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 because you very well could be more educated on this than I am. If you do indeed see things about this gentleman that you shouldn't take him serious because this, because that, please put that in there. I am not aware of it. I'm not telling you it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I'm not aware of it. I just feel like a former sitting president saying these things should be a major news worldwide story, especially if it turns out that he's right. And down the line, the guy did an interview and he talked about this. And you remember when 3i Atlas just joined and everybody jumped out of the freaking thing? Well, we could have known about that. The freaking former president was telling you that these things happen. Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Very curious. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you on the flip side.